Welcome back to the lab. Monday morning, a bit sombre. Unfortunately, we're saying goodbye to one of our fallen comrades this morning, Mr. Angle Grinder. 10 years of service out of that beastie or something like that. Died. It had trouble bearing up to the task at hand. And normally you just get a new bearing, right? Bearings are cheap, easy to get hold of. If we put a new bearing in it, it'd be pretty much alright, except for the fact that, as you could see from the molten plastic on the bearing outer, it had spun that in the case inside here. She's done. They're $100. Ta-da! So that's that problem solved. Except they changed something. Can you spot what it is? I don't like that. This is a good spot for the switch, except they normally have a guard on here. I've taken that off, which was probably a bad idea. The guard protects the switch, right? But then it kind of gets in the way and you can't get into some certain spots that you're trying to do little fiddly bits on roll cages and stuff like that. So they may have figured that out and they've moved the switch around here, but that's really quite awkward to get to. So I'm unsure if I'll just undo the 4 screws on the end and spin that around 90 degrees. It'll have the cord in a different spot, which isn't going to matter at all, really. And it'll be more like the old ones, which I'm used to using. It's more ergonomically correct if you're right-handed to have that there than awkwardly around. It just feels wrong. It's just much nicer to hold it there than it is to try and hold it there, depending on what you're doing. Never mind. There we go. That's more like old mate there. So I resurrected the guard that they have on the older ones to protect the switch. Because this switch, as you can see, it's even smaller. I think it's smaller. Maybe not. It's different. Anyway, it doesn't appear to be as strong as what the other ones were. In fact, I think that's given up. Oh no, there we go. It's just a bit awkward to use in general, actually, even with it on the top there. But anyway, I've put it on top where I liked it, and I'll put the guard on there to protect it, and the guard will probably get in the way at some point in time, and I'll take it off, and then I'll drop it and smash the switch. And that's just the way things go. Never mind. That didn't chew up a lot of the morning. By the time puzzles and stuff with the young one. Right, so we better carry on with this. Get some stuff sorted out. I want to get some paint from somewhere. We're going to need some paint soon. So I've sorted out those plates, the bottom of the firewall there, and our old mate distraction has kicked in again. I'm going to tidy up this floor. Well, I have tidied up the floor. What I'm going to do right now is put some primer on it, and depending on how it looks with the primer, I might put some paint on there. It's not going to be red. I can get my hands on red paint, but it's actually just... it's actually quite difficult at this time with everything that's going on. So I'm going to do it in a rather unorthodox way. I'll paint this side of the cabin, the floor area. We'll catch this bar too, because that's had a bit of a tidy up. That one there, we'll put vinyl wrap on it. Then we'll deal with the other side later on, right? Because I'm still contemplating pedals and stuff, but don't tell wifey that. And we'll deal with these bars as a separate thing. I've got to drop the engine to do that, right? So I don't really want to... You would normally, but I don't really want to tackle the entire inside end bars and everything all in one hit. It's actually just a lot of work, a lot of time involved in prep work. It's going to take frickin' ages, so I don't really want to do that today, but happy to do this side. We've got a nice panel line to follow there. We'll just mask up to the edge of there. No one will know the difference. It'll look fine. What a rough fucker. Gonna look beautiful. bearing in mind it's a race car, not a show car, that's fine. It's pretty good. Obviously that's just the primer, and yeah, I got carried away, and that's I got done too. But that's all. I didn't go any further than the front seat mounts, because as I previously mentioned, there might be something happening over there, or there might not be. We'll figure it out. It's not hard to deal with it either way. Let's put some silver on it, because we can't get red. I've got some black. It'll look terrible on black. I've got some, is it green? Look that up. That's an interesting colour. We're not doing that. Primary goal, make it all one colour. These biscuits are so yummy. That'll do. It's all silver. Silver making all the little defects show out really badly, but that's fine. Not that worried. It's going to look great from that distance, which is going to be most people ever. So, as I said, I haven't done these bars here just yet. And I haven't put any clear coat on this just yet. That's doing its thing for 10-15 minutes. And I'll run around with the torch or a big bright light and make sure I've got it all, because silver over top of the grey, very, very easy to leave, as I showed you on the roll bar. Big, massive areas where you think you've got it all and you absolutely have not. If I've missed any bits, I might tackle the roll cage. Can't really get under the bit by the motor very easily, but we'll see what happens. Well, I did say it was not going to be a show car paint job, but I think it's actually slipped a little bit below the standard that I was sort of hoping for. I mean, we didn't put in a huge amount of effort, let's be honest, but just a little bit of crap came out of the gun in the worst possible spot. Actually, that's a lot of crap, and it's, yeah, not happy with that. Not worried about these vivid lines. If you draw vivid on things, you have to wipe it off before you paint, by the way, because it does bleed through primer, and it will bleed through base coat as well, and so you will still see your lines. But that's fine, because we're going to put a gear shifter there, and it's actually handy to have the line there, so that's no big deal. But this is right on the top, right where everyone's going to see, and it's going to look yucky. So we've just had news that we might be moving out of level 3 on Thursday. If that happens, if we go to level 2, I might get some red paint, because I'm not 100% convinced with that. It's probably better than what I had before, to be honest, but I want a little bit nicer than that. Alright. Oh, if you're worried about the BMW getting overspray on it, don't. It was outside, along with me doors and a few other bits and bobs. Anything that was important. Right. Yeah, I'll have a think on that, see whether I want to do anything with it. It is a race car. It doesn't need to be super flash. Realistically, by the time you put everything else in there, you're probably not going to notice that. It's not really a big deal. Okay. Cheers for watching. Right, bye.